Hello everyone, this is CY. Once again, thanks for joining us today. This is the second episode to our roasting journey for the SRF 2024, which is the Singapore Roaster Forum 2024. So today I'm going to officially roast the beans that we're going to send in for competition. And this is actually the Kenya Kiamabara wash coffee. And you will see pretty much how we do it. I will also be sharing the profile in a way so that if you get your hand on this coffee, and let's see how we fare in the competitions. So right now my roasters, which I'm going to use the M10, which is the Kaleido M10 here. So this is already heated up to 182 degrees Celsius, and that's the charge temperature that we're going to charge the beans. So right now the beans are ready in the scoop, which I'm going to show you the beans now. Alright, so this is the Kenya, which is very similar to our Kenya Namri AA. So this one also has a SL34 varietal, just like it has additional SL28 inside. So this is the green beans. They are more pale in color as compared to the Brazil or the Indonesian mandling. They are a lot more jade green, but this one is a little bit more pale in color. Right, so right now let's charge the beans, and then I will zoom into the roasting profile so that you can actually get an idea of how we control the roasting, right? Pretty much I have already determined the temperature that I want to drop the beans. So for these beans, I'll be dropping it at around 192 degrees Celsius. I have already checked during our first video, which I did I think 2 days ago. I have already know the milestone at which the key points to which these beans will meet. So I know roughly when the turning point will be, but it will be slightly different because the batch size is different. The machine has already been heated up. I have already done a batch of coffee in this roaster before I roast this batch of coffee. So this is an ideal situation because the machine now is properly warm up, right? So right now I'm going to charge it, and then yeah, let's see how it goes. And we are roasting 1 kg of beans for this time. So I'm going to record this profile so that I will be replaying this profile later on. Alright, so right now I will try to zoom into the roasting profile. So I'm gradually increasing the heat. Actually, it doesn't really matter for the early stage. Sorry about the noise at the background because I'm roasting our production batch of coffee using our slightly larger roaster. Right, our change in BT is around 14. I'll increase the heat by another 10% because I want to bump it out a little bit more so that the bean will gather a little bit more heat energy. So at the moment, the heating is basically to raise the internal bean temperature. The bean haven't even reached 100 degrees Celsius, so there's not much changes to the bean itself. Right, let me off that roaster. Otherwise, it's too noisy at the background. Okay, so looking good. So by looking at the change in BT, I know roughly how much heat energy it can gather. So it should maintain at around 15 to 16 until it reaches about 120 to 130 degrees Celsius. And that's when the bean will start to, okay, as you know, there's moisture, about 11 to 12% of moisture, which is water in the bean itself. And this water will start to be heated up to around 100 to above 100 degrees Celsius, and that will reach the steam point, and then pressure will start to build up in the bean itself. So now our bean temp is 105. Right, I'm going to bump up the heat to 100% to maintain that around 15 to 16 RR at the moment. Anyway, this video will only be released after the roasting competition is over, right? So we do not know the result of this, so we'll see how it goes. Right, maintaining at 15, which is good. Right, it's going to drop down a little bit. Yeah, you can see it's coming down, but it will fluctuate a little bit, so there's nothing to be alarmed about. Right, this initial drying phase of the beans, there's not much being done to the bean itself for now. Basically, the bean is just absorbing heat. There's not much chemical changes yet. Maybe I should bring you closer to see the color of the bean now. Right now it's about 125 degrees Celsius. So let me bring you closer to see the bean. Right, so let's see from the drying stick. Right, I can see the color is still jade green. Right, there's no yellowing yet. Right, let's get back to the screen. Okay, you can see my BT, change in BT is still hovering around 15 to 16, which is okay. And we should be reaching the dry end pretty soon. And dry end is when the bean changes from green to yellow. I think I probably mentioned this a lot in my roasting videos. So it's still hovering around 15 degrees Celsius per minute, which is okay. Again, once we reach around 145 to degrees Celsius, again I'll bring you closer to the trial to let you see the change in color. So you can see that now the bean temperature start to drop a little bit. This is normal, right? Okay, now it's reaching 146. Let me bring you closer to see the color. Right, you can see now it's yellow in color, yellowish brown. So this means that our dry end has already reached. And on our monitor, I will be charting the dry end. Right, so you can see this is the dry end here. Right, and then I will be starting to reduce the power when you reach 160 degrees Celsius, because I do not want the beans to carry too much energy, so that I couldn't in the later, after the first crack, I will wish to slow down the rate of the roast so that I can develop the sweetness more. So I should be able to decelerate it later. Okay, so we are hitting 160, so I'm going to slowly drop down the heat. Right, you can see once I reduce by 10%, right, the BT should drop by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. Right, after this stage, I will want my RR, which is the change in BT, to be around 10, between 9 to 10. So that will be ideal. So if I'm able to achieve that, then I will not be adjusting the heat for now. So you can see it's still hovering, it's still increasing. So by the time we reach 170, I'm going to reduce the heating power by another 10%. It is normal for the prop, the temperature top prop, to actually detect quite a big change in temperature. I mean the change in temperature, but it's pretty normal because the inside is actually pretty volatile. You know, it can be detecting the bean that's hotter as being churned by the drum, right? So I'm going to reduce by another 10% because we are still having our R above 10 and we are almost reaching the first crack temperature. So this can be, okay, now we are able to maintain at around 10. Right, so by the time we hit 180, I'm going to reduce it further by another 10%. Okay, the machine tell me that the first crack is happening. I can hear some of the beans cracking. Okay, so I've already charted first crack and I'm going to reduce it further because I'm going to drop my bean at around 192 degrees Celsius, which is a medium light roast. The electron color should be around 70 plus to 80 plus. I may drop it slightly early because I'm doing this for the filtered roast. I will try to drop it at 188. Right, we're going to quickly transfer this to the cooler. Okay, we're going to cut this and see how it tastes. Alright, so later we're going to cup this and compare to the previous one which I did around 192 and see whether I can pick up a very distinct difference in the tasting notes. So let's wait for the bean to cool down and then we'll cup it. Alright, so for the same thing that we always do every time we finish a batch of roast, we will always check the roasting color. So we have this roasting color meter, which is the electron meter. So let me just show you the rows that we have done for this batch. Right, so this is the color. Under the light, it looks slightly different. So there's still a little bit of coffee chaff there because I think this is a slightly lighter roast than I did before. Right, so let's check out the color. Okay, let me bring you up to see. So let's analyze. Should be 80 plus. Pretty close. This is 79.9. Right, so it's around 80. Right, so let's check the internal color after we grind the beans. Okay, so let's do about 10 grams of coffee. Okay, this is exactly 10 grams. Right, so let's put inside the grinder. The grind size on our current DF54 is 80. Okay, let's zero out this as well so that we can see the amount of retention that we have on this grinder. You can see the amount of chaff that's flying out. Right, so it's about 10, right? So pretty much a zero retention grinder. So now let's check the color meter once more. So now we are actually checking the internal color. So we have to flatten this, and you'll be using the same coffee here for carving later on. Okay, let's check the color again. So the external is 79.9. So now let's check the internal color. (103.9). Okay. So let me record that down. Okay, now let's do the cupping. I think I'll probably cup it comparing to the previous roast that I have, which is at 192 degrees Celsius. So that will give me a good idea about the difference between the two, and I can decide whether I want to I want to drop it at 192 or 189. There's a difference in 3 degrees Celsius. Okay, 10 degree as well. Where's mine? Alright, so let's get the other one. So this is the one that we have roasted a few days ago, which is the one at 192. And this new one, which is the one we roasted just now, you can see very clearly the difference in color. I'm going to show you in a while. Right, probably on camera it's not the best to see. This is the one that is roasted under up to 192. This is the one roasted until 189, right? So let's cup it and see how the taste is like. Okay, let's heat up the water. Let's do water at 95 degrees Celsius. Let's sniff the dry fragrance. To be honest, I think the roast I did today at 189, it smells a little bit better. And it is not fair for me to say that because this is roasted a few days ago, 3 days ago, and this is fresh. Okay, I think the temperature is ready at 95. So we'll be starting the timer. We have to wait for 4 minutes, right? Okay, let's try the smell the aroma. Again, this one smells more appealing to me. So I can't wait to cup it at 4 minutes. 4 minutes will be breaking the crust, and then another 4 minutes will start to cup it. So I'll be turning off the camera now and wait for the 4 minutes or 8 minutes to pass first. Okay, now we are approaching the 4 minutes. So right now it's about 3 minutes 50. So at 4 minute mark, we will start to break it. Right, and at the same time, I will try to smell it. Okay. Okay, I think it's pretty conclusive. When I break the crust, the coffee that I drop at 189 does smell better and it's more explosive in terms of the smell, aroma. Right, so now we'll wait for another 4 minutes for it to cool a little bit more. Then we will start to drink it. Okay, the time now it's 8 minutes 19. So now it's a little bit warm, it's a little bit cool a little bit more. Then I can start to taste the coffee. So this is now the exciting part. Okay. Okay, the 192, the drop temp at 192 tastes a little bit cleaner. But then also because it has been developed more. But Yes, it does take tea cleaner, but then this one has more flavor to it. Both cup are actually pretty good. This is going to be hard. I think that this is smoother than this one. Vincent, you want to try? Yes. Just quickly try. These two very hard. Very hard to decide.
什么都不要跟我讲。
对 You try these two, see which one is better.
已经有人了啊。
Yeah, you can drink already.
地道啊。
没关系，拿一张纸给你。
两杯不一样啊。
对，我给你一个杯子，给你喝一点水。因为两杯的 sweetness 都在，但是 one cup is cleaner than the other cup, but one cup is sweeter than the other cup. 这个我拿走先，会挡住你。
这是。这个比较刺激。
这个比较刺激哦。
这个比较刺激，这个果酸味比较重。
对。
但是两个味道一样，只是这个比较温和。
一样的冰。
一样的冰啊。
Yeah。
这个比较gentle。
这个比较 gentle because it's slightly roasted to a slightly higher temperature. So this one is slightly lighter roast than this one. So this one.
这个 gentle。
Yeah。
但是它们有味道都是一样的。
对 ，very similar. Very similar. 所以你要喝很多杯。Personally, I like this one better. Even though this one a little bit cleaner. 但是它的甜，它的酸比较凸显。
对。
然后 is more prominent 啊，这个。相比之下就会差。
你要不要 round？
这是比较 round 的。喝出来了哦。OK。Okay. Okay. All right. So conclusion, I'll be choosing the profile which I've roasted today to send in for the competitions. So just now I get my one of my barista Vincent to come and try the coffee. Right. He too, after trying many times, he did pick up the more prominent sweetness. It's more I would say the sweetness and acidity pops a little bit more as compared to the one at 192. So this is the one that we're sending. So this is only the one roast. I have only developed the roast for filtered. I will need to do a second roast profile for the espresso. So thanks for joining. This is CY once again. Again, this video will be released in November after the 1st, because I think the event it's being held at La Marzocco on the 1st of November. Then on the 2nd of November onwards, we'll start to release this video one by one. Right? So thanks for joining. Stay safe. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you want. Like our videos, and I'll see you in the next one.